Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Svetlana, and I represent Tranio International Real Estate Investment Platform. Tranio has been working on the overseas property market since 2011, and now we are present in more than 60 countries and closed more than 1,200 deals. We help our clients with finding the right investment strategy, property transaction, and permanent residence in Europe and the USA. Today, we'll be focusing on Portugal and its Golden Visa program. Portugal is one of our main direction, and as it provides not only an opportunity to get a European passport, but it also shows stable economic growth and is an ideal option for investment in relocation. Together with JLL Residential Portugal, we will get you acquainted with the property market in Portugal, explain how to get the Golden Visa on current terms, and discuss what locations and projects to invest in. And we will also review bank financing and mortgage. And at the end, we will finish with the questions and answer session. Now I would like to give the floor to Filippo Simonato, International Business Development Director at JLL Residential Portugal, and Evia Seglenice, Consultant at JLL Portugal. Good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you, Svetlana. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. We are very happy to be here. Tranio is one of our best partners and most close partners. We receive many clients from your platform, and we are very happy in consulting them. Evia is the main contact for these clients, so we are very happy to be here today.
Yeah, welcome, and we are happy to work with you as well.
Thank you. Okay, we will start this presentation. It will be a very quick overview on the market situation in Portugal. And then Evia will show you a couple of options for investments opportunities in Portugal. So as you can see, Portugal is very well connected to the rest of the world. Here we put some travel distance time to some international destinations and some countries in Europe. However, what we want to say is that Portugal is becoming more and more interesting destination, a home for entrepreneurs, for new companies, for students. So it's attracting more and more the attention of the world. And with it, the real estate market is growing very fast alongside with the economy. We are JLL. We are an international company. We have more than 80 offices around the world. We have more than 80,000 employees. And in Portugal, we are present since 1992. And we do have now 5 offices in Portugal. The main one are in Lisbon, Porto, and the Algarve, which are the Algarve southern region, Lisbon in the center, the capital, and Porto in the north. And we also have Cascais and Comporta, which are beachside destination, especially suitable for families and luxury properties. So a very interesting location as well. So we do have 5 offices here. Why Portugal is attracting so much attention globally? First and most of all is because it's a very safe and secure country. So it's regarded as the third most peaceful country in the world, and is one of the oldest democracies. So very good stability, which makes for a great destination for investment. The quality of education is also really good, alongside with infrastructure, transportation, healthcare system. So lots of investors are buying in Portugal, thinking about moving with their children for education or access the healthcare system, which is one of the best in Europe. And all of these with a good climate, access to the beach, great history, makes Portugal one of the best countries in terms of quality of life for someone who moves from abroad. Very easy to do business. Lots of people speak here. The majority of people speak English. So it's a very safe and easy place where to relocate. And that makes it very interesting for the international investors. In terms of market overview, we can see here that in spite of COVID, we had an increase of 2% on the volume on transaction, and we had 5% less houses, number of units transacted. But in spite of that, we still had a higher turnover and higher market. So the residential market, the real estate market in Portugal didn't stop because of COVID. Actually, lots of new nationalities are moving here because they can work remotely, and so they buy a second home to be in Portugal and work from here during the winter months, which are very mild here, and even during the summer. Who are the main buyers here? The main buyers are Brazilian, French, and Chinese during the last year. However, we have sold to over 47 nationalities. We have a strong local market, which is about 43% of our sales go to the local market, which is very strong. However, we serve 57% of our transaction were with international buyers from, as I said, 47 nationalities. So very international crowd buying in Portugal. Who is renting these properties? Again, Brazilians and French are on the top three. And here we see United Kingdom, because lots of UK citizens, after Brexit, they decided to relocate to Portugal or buy a property in Portugal to access the Golden Visa. We will go in details later about the Golden Visa, but it's a program, a residency program that allow access to the EU countries and allow investors to have a visa that allows them to work and live in Portugal and freedom of movement across the whole Schengen area. So as what we are saying is that the demand of apartments and residential units is continuing to rise. But since it's a very, for instance, Porto and Lisbon are some of the oldest cities in Europe, the supply is limited. So there are not many new apartment blocks coming into the market. And this is creating the condition for prices to remain stable, even with COVID, or actually to increase. Also, people are using their home as a workplace, so they are looking for larger apartments. The short rental segment has been facing some disruption, but even in that way, the residential units are still considered the best investment class, because you can easily repurpose short-term rental to a home office or to different type of use. So the yields and the returns of these investment in the residential sector has been proven to be very sustainable and very resilient. Also, the buyers are looking for more and more outdoor spaces and larger apartments with more working areas and more space. So this was a very quick overview. So we saw that in spite of COVID, we have a very positive real estate market and economy. And now I will pass the word to my colleague Evia, and she will give us a little bit of overview on the best investment opportunities in Portugal. So thank you very much. Evia, please go on.
Thank you, Filippo. So my name is Evia, and I work as consultant in JLL Residential. And very briefly, I relocated to Portugal myself 6 years ago. I was born in Riga, Latvia, and so far I absolutely love my experience. So usually not only I'm helping to choose the right property, but I can also help a little bit to understand how it is to actually live here and to really help to choose the right locations. So on this in this presentation, I will focus on 4 main cities and areas we have offices in, and we'll present just one property in each location. But in our portfolio, we have around 5,000 properties and many new developments. So we will start with Lisbon. Lisbon, of course, is the capital of Portugal and heart of economy, and main airport is here. So it's one of the top destinations when most of our clients are looking where to invest. And one of the first properties I would like to present, it's called Conde Lima. And it's very centrally located. It's near Marquês Pombal, that is one of the main roundabouts at the end of famous Avenida Liberdade. And this development is unique because it has so many features that most of our clients are looking for. So very high quality finishing materials, parking, amenities like indoor pool, garden, and fitness. So as I mentioned, and Filippo mentioned as well before, most of our clients are looking for properties with outdoor space. And in this development, you also have this beautiful indoor garden, and most of units have either small balconies, and of course, everybody can use a common garden. So in this location, in this development, we have 41 apartments, and it's a project with 2 buildings, and there we have studios, up to 4-bedroom apartments, and in the sizes are starting from 35 square meters to 270 square meters, and prices start from around 270,000 euros. So this location is great if you are looking to buy for yourself to live, or you would like to buy and to rent it after the property is concluded. The next location is beautiful Cascais. I'm quite sure majority of you have heard of it. It's a beautiful resort city about 30 minutes driving from Lisbon on a highway, and it's famous with its beautiful beaches, restaurants, and high quality properties. It's a perfect location for those who like a bit more relaxed life, and Cascais is also famous because there are many international schools around, and many families choose to live in Cascais because it's so convenient, and it's very, very international environment. There are very many expats, so it's very easy to start living there and to get around. And the project I would like to present today, it's called Legacy. It's a quite unique project, and it's an old hotel converted into luxury residential project. So one part will remain to function as a luxury hotel, and there will be luxury residences and also private townhouses. So this is one of image of townhouse with pools. And let's go see the other image now. Yeah, so as you see, it's very, very high quality materials. As mentioned, townhouses will have a private garden, private pool, and the garage. And premium residences, we have 1-bedroom apartments up to 3 and 4-bedroom. And from upper floors, you have beautiful views to the ocean. And next location is Porto. Porto is the second largest city in Portugal, and it also has its own airport. And many tourists and many clients also like Porto because it's historical and it has a lot of charm. And in recent years, Porto is attracting also many businesses and many young people because there are great universities. And Porto is great for clients who are looking to invest and mainly rent apartments, because in Lisbon there are many restrictions already, so you cannot get licenses to do Airbnb, but in Porto there are more opportunities. And in Porto, the project I'm presenting you is called Álvares Cabral 303. And it's very, very centrally located. So it would be a great, if you're planning to invest and to rent it out for Airbnb, or maybe do medium term rentals, because you can easily focus on clients who plan to stay in Porto short or medium short term, because it's very, very easy to move around and the location is great for that. So as mentioned, this project qualifies for 350 golden visa. And we also have study already from a property management company. So if you are interested in this type of investment, just reach out to me and I will share more information. This is a small project, only 6 units. So a great opportunity. And the last project I will present is in Algarve. Algarve is a southern part of Portugal. It's also famous for its beautiful beaches and resorts. It's great for golf lovers because most of golf courses are actually in Algarve area. So it's a great destination for summer and from early spring actually to late autumn. But in latest years, there are more and more clients who actually decide to live in Algarve permanently because the quality of life is high, and there are also many international schools. So, and also the distance from Lisbon is just 2.5 hours by car, so it's really, really easy to move around. And there is also an airport that, of course, helps. And Umbria is a project I'm presenting you today. It's a unique project. It also has a 5-star hotel operated by Viceroy Resorts, and there are apartments and villas. We can see here some of the images, and this development is located only 14 kilometers from Villa Mora, and very like probably 15 minutes driving, I believe, from airport. And in this development, we have properties from 1 to 7 bedrooms, and it also includes luxury hotel management managed by Viceroy Hotels and Resorts, and it has its own golf course. And this development is interesting because depending from your investment strategy, you can either buy and live there, you can rent, and then you still have rights to use these properties for yourself up to 10 weeks a year, and you can also get return. So this is a great opportunity if you are looking to invest and to have also as a holiday home for your holidays. And very briefly, I will just walk through for purchasing a home in Portugal. So the first, of course, is to have a conversation with your consultant and to select the best and most suitable properties. And then the next step, once a property is selected, then you can either come to Portugal to inspect it, or if it's a new development, then actually we can do all the process through a Zoom call or a video call, because if it's a new development, then even if you come here, you will not see much, because it means that the properties are still under construction, and in many cases you cannot even visit. So we work with images, with 3D images, with layouts, and we explain you what you will get after the property is concluded. Then the next step is a reservation of the property. Usually it's 10 or 15,000 euros. And that means that you block the property for 2-week time while your lawyer is analyzing the promissory purchase and sale agreement. And then if needed, you do necessary alterations, changes. And if you are fine, then you proceed with the purchase. And that's usually when you pay the first payment, that is 20 or 30% of the total price. So we already looked at properties under construction. So usually there is a reservation, then there is a promissory purchase and sale agreement signing, and then there might be some further payments as the construction progresses. But this depends very much what's your situation. If you are looking to invest for golden visas, and depending, either it's 350,000, then you will pay 350,000 to start golden visa process, or if it qualifies for 500,000, then you will do a larger payment. So your lawyer can start the process, but lawyer after will explain the details. And then if a property is concluded, then at notary is signed a deed, and after the project is concluded, you get keys from your apartment, and you can either rent it or use it for yourself. And regarding transaction charges, in average, you should count around 8% from apartment price. But of course, we can always break it down when we have a real situation. So that's it for me now. Filippo,
Yes.
Would you like to add something?
Yeah, I just wanted to add that, of course, we will help with the handover and after-sales service in case they need to furnish the property or rent it. Sure. We will find a suitable tenant or help finding a short management company to manage the apartment. Also, I want to mention that we do have financing partners, and that foreign clients can get a mortgage up to 70%. At a very good interest rate. However, the mortgage cannot be used for the golden visa amount, so you need to bring an equity of 350 or 500,000 minimum, according to the type of golden visa property you decide to buy. And you can finance a second property or a larger property, and you can finance the difference between the minimum threshold for the golden visa and the property you want to buy. We can give more information.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was the end of our presentation. I will call back here Svetlana and thank her for the time.
Thank you, Filippo. Thank you, Evia. It was very interesting. Like every time is like a new information. It's a very beautiful country and interesting project, definitely, as an investment opportunities. That's how we see them. And now I would like to give a floor to Ricardo Loro, who represents Martinez Law Firm. He will be able to explain how the golden visa process works. And I would like to remind everyone, please leave your questions, whatever you have related to the properties, or now we're talking about golden visa. So anything related to this, please feel free to type them and we will definitely answer them. And Ricardo, this is just for you to start with information about golden visa. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Svetlana. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank to all. Golden Visa, has been quite a successful program for Portugal. A Golden Visa is in reality a residency permit for Portugal. The numbers are around the 10,000 Golden Visa residencies issued for the investors. You should triple by or multiply this by 3 to have a notion of the entire number of people who is in the program. But around of these 10,000 applications, more than 9,000, so more than 90%, have been done by investing in property. So you can see how the real estate market is important for the Golden Visa investors, and this happens because of the changes in the law in 2012 that made attractive the Golden Visa program for the Portuguese, in this case, the Portuguese Golden Visa program for the investors. The main features of the Golden Visa program is that it is a 5 years program with cards initially for 2 years, then renewed after 2 years, and then renewed again at year 4. With this, with one investment, the spouse or legal partner can be in the program. Children of the investor or the spouse can also be in the program, and if already above 18, as long as full-time students and still single, they can be in also as dependents, so in the program with only one investment. Also, the parents of the investor and or of the spouse, as long as they are above 66 years old, which is the retirement age in Portugal, or if they are below, if they are dependent financially of the spouse or of the main investor, they can now also be in the same program or in the same investment with only one investment. So this is quite attractive. And if you add to this the fact that you as a Golden Visa card carrier only need to be in Portugal 14 days every 2 years period, you have a fantastic possibility to have a residency in a European country without relocating. With this, it also means that you will not become a Portuguese tax resident, meaning that you will only pay taxes in Portugal regarding your investments and your activities, your professional activities or economical activities in Portugal, and not worldwide taxation. That's where you are a tax resident. If we see now the timeline and the timings for the Golden Visa, the main focus is to make the investment. Without the investment, we cannot start the program. To do the investment, we're going to need Portuguese tax number, Portuguese bank account. We as a law firm provide this at a distance. We provide these services at a distance, so the investor doesn't need to come to Portugal to do this. We do everything without the investor and the family leaving the country of residency or of origin. As you see, we need to start under the current rules the application before 31st of December 2021. If we do that, the rules still apply. And then, as we can see, the route is every 2 years a renewal, and at year 5, you have the permanent residency and the route to citizenship. So, as I was saying, we have here in our slides first visit to Portugal, but you can do this without visiting Portugal. You can do a virtual tour, choose your investment, sign the power of attorney, then we take care of the tax numbers and of the bank account, and we complete the investment on your behalf. Then after this, you gather the mandatory documentation. You need to send it by email first and then by a post carrier service after, and we start the we start the immigration process at immigration services, and we wait for the scheduling of the biometrics. At the moment of the biometrics is when you need to come either for a second time or for a first time to Portugal. The investor and the entire family needs to come to do then the biometrics. After this, biometrics take maybe 1 day. Then you can go back to your country of residency or country of origin and wait for the approval of the golden visa. So main steps or next steps is, most importantly, decide on the investment, then start preparing and compiling personal documentation, give us the necessary powers to obtain the tax number for the whole family and open the bank account for the investor, transfer the funds to your Portuguese bank account, make the investment, then have the full documentation authenticated and legalized in order for us to apply for the golden visa process at immigration services. So then we need to be prepared to wait several months for the biometrics to occur these days because of the pandemic, and then after several months for the card approval. Then it's just a matter of repeating this at year 2 and at year 4. As I'm aware, or have so sure you are aware, there will be changes from January 2022. So the increase of capital transfer will come to 1,500 euros, which is an increase of 50%. The capital transfers for research activities also increased to 500. The investment in investment funds and venture capital funds also increased from 350 to 500,000 euros. And to incorporate a company and creating at least 5 permanent jobs, it is also an increase for 500,000 euros. Most importantly, there will be a restriction on the residential properties that will only be eligible for golden visa purposes in certain locations, which are outside of the main cities of Portugal and of the coastal cities of Portugal. However, if we start the process of golden visa, making the initial application since or until 31st of December 2021, these rules will still apply for the remaining of the process, meaning that if you buy in Lisbon or Porto or Cascais a residential property this year, and we start your golden visa process this year, the change in the rules for 2022 will not affect you at all. The process will continue under these current rules. Regarding taxations, Evia was kind enough to refer to more or less 8%. I think it's a ballpark figure. Here it is in more details, the property purchase. And here are also some numbers for you to have with regards to the investments, the costs with immigration. These are only governmental costs and more or less the tax representation services. Thank you very much for your attention and looking forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much. Back to you, Filippo.
Thank you, Ricardo, for presenting the Golden Visa program details. I'm sure we will have questions about it, and we'll definitely answer all the questions. And currently, we already have a couple of questions, which would be interesting for everyone to know the details. And these are the main ones we have at the moment. And let's just move it further. What is the best investment destination in Portugal? South, north, central part of Portugal, or maybe like a coastal line? What would you recommend? I think Evia would be the best to answer these questions.
Yeah, well, I think it really depends what the purpose of investment is, and if the client wants to do mainly kind of short-term rental or long-term rental, because as I mentioned, in Lisbon, in many neighborhoods, you cannot do Airbnb anymore. So I think Lisbon is great if you target expats and maybe business executives. Or if somebody wants to live in Lisbon and have an easy access and to be really flexible to move around, Algarve is, I would say, it's quite touristic, and we still see the seasonality, but of course now it's less. But it's great for somebody who really enjoys golf and beaches. And Porto, I think it's a very great investment destination for short-term and kind of medium-term rents. And Cascais basically is like in Lisbon. It's great for living and it's great for investment, because there we have always high demand because many expats move to Lisbon, and usually that's the first choice for them, and then they might move to other locations.
Thank you, Evia. If anyone has still questions, please feel free to send them to us, and we'll answer once our webinar is over. So once we have time. And let's move to another one, which is also quite important. When is the Golden Visa program going to change, and can I still qualify for the program? I think this is for Ricardo.
Yes, Svetlana. As I said in the presentation, the changes in the law will occur in January 1st, 2022. So only from that date onwards will the Golden Visa program change for the new applicants. Until 31st of December 2021, everyone who applies and submits a Golden Visa file with Immigration Services will still apply under the current legislation, and that current legislation will apply to the investment until the end of the Golden Visa program. So I would say we have around 5 months for the investors to decide and to move forward with their investment and Golden Visa application.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Ricardo. Yeah, it's very clear, and I think we know the dates, and we need to, let's say, need to hurry up to start to look for a property, especially due to the situation that's not easy to travel, but we can still buy at this point of time and start the whole thing. And the last one, but not the least, what are the requirements on financing a property?
For a Golden Visa?
Requirements for financing, for getting a mortgage. What are the main requirements? I think maybe Evia or I don't know, Ricardo, maybe you can also answer, or Filippo.
I will just give this notice. For Golden Visa, it's preferable not to mortgage. And the rest, I will leave Evia to reply.
Yeah, so we work with a mortgage broker, and so how it works, basically, we introduce to the mortgage broker, and client shares all the information, and then the mortgage broker sends out the requirements to all the local banks, and then client can choose the best option for him, right? So our experience shows that foreigners can obtain mortgage, and usually it's between 50 and 70% of bank valuation, but as Ricardo mentioned, so for Golden Visa, either 350,000 or 500,000 has to be client's own equity. So everything above can be financed. And as mentioned, we have a structure to help with that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much, Eva. Yeah, it's very important. And as Ricardo also mentioned, they know that it should be cash to apply for a Golden Visa. And the rest, definitely, we can help with the rest of the financing and process. I think these are the main questions which we have at the moment, but we still have other questions, but we will be able to answer them once we finish our webinar. We see all the questions, and we definitely answer them shortly. Thank you, Filippo. Thank you, Evia. Thank you, Ricardo. It was nice to have you, pleasure to work with you, and hope we will have a lot of investors who would be interested. And any questions for everyone, if any questions left, please feel free to send them to us, and we'll answer them shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you, Evia.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye.